And joining me now to talk more about Herzog's speech and the Democrats who boycotted it is Rabbi Yaakov Menken, Managing Director with Coalition for Jewish Values. Rabbi, as always, good to see you. You were invited to this address. What did you make of the Democrats who boycotted it? I mean, what does this say about them?
It could be back. Thank you so much. And I would certainly say that when you're talking about Democrats who would be very happy to attend a speech and stand up and applaud for President of China, Xi Jinping, or the president of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, with his pay to slay, there was some blatant hypocrisy here. What's even worse is that President Herzog of Israel is a member of the Labor Party. He is a leftist. Some of the things that he said did not go very well with the Republicans, and yet they were there to applaud him when the Democrats, on the other hand, rose to their feet, and there was one-sided standing ovation because what he was saying was more in line with Democrat positions and leftist positions. And so if they were serious about only objecting to Israel's government policies, they would have been there and they would have been applauding. What this tells you is that they didn't want to be there. As President Herzog pointed out, the demonization of Israel and claiming that Jews don't deserve self-determination is anti-Semitic because they believe the Jews should not have self-determination.
I mean, you see the Democrats talk about being pro-Israel. They're fighting anti-Semitism. But then you have 9 Democrats who clearly are against Israel. I mean, I don't know if you watched yesterday the House Judiciary Committee on Censorship. I mean, they were grilling, a Democrat Jew was grilling RFK, who isn't their biggest problem. It just seems like hypocrisy all around.
It's definitely hypocritical to go after somebody like Kennedy. He's not, of course, a really viable candidate, but also what he said, I don't think that anybody seriously thinks that the COVID virus was actually engineered to exempt Jews in some way. And I don't think he ever believed that or anybody believed that. So that's a distraction. When anti-Semitism is used as a distraction from the real issues, and the real issue here is that Pramila Jayapal claiming that Israel's a racist state. It's the only state in that region where you see that Christians are not being oppressed, and Coptic Christians are not being oppressed, and Buddhists and Zoroastrians and Baha'i, and for that matter, Ahmadiyya Muslims not being oppressed. It's also the one place in that region where Jews have civil rights, and that's why they hate it.
You know, the squad is very open about how they feel. Pramila Jayapal calling Israel a racist state. For those who haven't seen it, I just want to play this sound, and then we'll talk more about this.
I want you to know that we have been fighting to make it clear that Israel is a racist state, that the Palestinian people deserve self-determination and autonomy, that the dream of a two-state solution is slipping away from us.
There she is, on tape, saying it.
Besides just the racism, this idea that a place which actually gives Arabs the right to vote, that's the apartheid state. And besides just the blatant stupidity of that, you have to go further and unpack this idea of a Palestinian people. Everybody knows where the Holy Land is. Everybody knows to whom it was promised. This is the week of the 9th of Av on the Jewish calendar, when we spend a day mourning for the destruction of the temples and praying for the temple to be rebuilt. We all know the eternal Jewish attachment to that homeland because it's in the most published book in existence. So if that's clear, Palestine is nothing more than a European colonialist name, which actually Arabs can't even pronounce in their native language. So this idea of a Palestinian people is an invention of a subset of Arabs just designed to somehow claim the Jews are stealing their own homeland.
But they've done a really good job at spreading that misinformation, so I'm glad you're bringing that up. I want to quickly talk about the Abraham Accords. Herzog applauded it. Trump is responsible for it. What did you make of it?
I thought it was excellent that President Herzog spent time pointing that out. Again, this is a man of the left. This is what the left in Israel feels. The Abraham Accords are critical because we all pray and want peace. And one of the things that he said he's distinctly looking forward to is when peace is possible with Saudi Arabia. He called that a major game changer. It's going to change the entire picture. It's already a situation where now flights from Israel to India are much shorter because Saudi Arabia and Oman are both allowing El Al planes to transit their airspace. That's an incredible step forward in its own right. And we only, everybody who is valuing human rights, everybody who genuinely values human rights wants to see that move forward. And I thought it was excellent that President Herzog spent time on that.
Yeah, I think the Democrat Party definitely has a party. I don't know if you've heard, but Dov Hikind, is that how he pronounces his name?
Yes, he's a good friend of mine.
Okay, so
look,
for people who don't know, longtime assembly member of New York, Democrat, just announced he's leaving the Democrat Party.
I'll have to say that the truth is that he caucused with the Democrats because, unfortunately, New York City is a one-party city. So you have to work with Democrats if you want anything to happen. But he was always a very conservative Democrat. And now that he's no longer involved in politics so directly, he just made the statement. He said, look, my values are more in line with the Republican Party. But even while he was a Democrat, he was working with Trump. He was pro-Trump. He was bringing Holocaust survivors to meet Trump because he understood the tremendous friendship that President Trump had towards the Jewish community. Dov Hikind has always been a man who just pursued his values, and it's great that he's being so honest about this.
Well, I'll have him on the show.
It is true that most Democrats jumped up to applaud President Herzog, but it's really notable that there's this squad, and the squad's being taken seriously.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.